Welcome back to another episode of In the End There's Always a Disney Guide. To make sure before we get into this episode, make sure you go check out DisneyGuide.com and go subscribe to the site and subscribe to the blog so you can get updates on anything that's happening or basically everything, see what's happening, see what's going on. But today we're going to be talking about Grey's Anatomy again, and if you haven't known, Grey's Anatomy, season 17, episode 9, really got into Altman's life and basically just solving her trauma issues. But we need to discuss the future of Grey's. And I discussed this last time, but I need people to understand what I'm saying. I mean, we all know that Grey's Anatomy is at its, reaching point as far as for the show, because at some time, I mean, if they're bringing J-Pro back, like when Jesse Williams requested, if they're bringing J-Pro back, something is wrong. I mean, obviously they wouldn't just bring all these characters from the past back for no reason. But and then when Lexi coming back, I mean, come on now, it's just sign after sign after sign. I know that people love the show so much, but I think what they should do is, of course, I think they should renew the show for another season, but I think season 18 should be the last, and I think season 17 should end on a huge note, and I think that they should kind of take off Meredith. Now, wait, I know you guys are probably saying, why do I think that? But you have to think about the turn that it would take on a lot of fans. I mean, it'll be unexpected, of course. No one would have thought it would have happened, if I'm being honest. And y'all know it's true. If they do decide to do that, I mean, people will lose their minds. I'm very sure people will be like going insane over the season finale if that's what they decide to do. But it needs to end on something really deep and emotional, because obviously season 17 is going to be a very emotional season, and Jesse Williams was wrong. He said there has to be a lot of hope, in one of his interviews. This is kind of a hopeless season, if I may add on to that. And I don't want it to be, but I mean, let's just look at the context for a minute. We already lost DeLuca, major star in the show. Didn't come as a surprise because this was a season of unexpected loss. But it was shocking because they still took the character off. No one would have expected that. So if they would take DeLuca off, what makes you think that they wouldn't take Meredith off? Even if she is the narrator, she could still be the narrator of the show. Don't get me wrong. She doesn't have to still be physically on there for it to go on, for her to narrate. I just think it would be best if they end the show with her not surviving COVID. Because not only will it be a the hugest blindside in Grey's history, but it will leave us on a huge cliffhanger that will probably shock so many fans they will probably lose their minds. And that's what Grey's obviously wants. That's what they want, them to do. Because Debbie warned us way before the season premiere that this was going to be a season of like loss and twists and turns, and unexpected things were going to occur this season. And they did. I mean, when Meredith caught COVID, we didn't think that, COVID was going to affect her as it did. And, I mean, she's in like a medical-induced coma at this point. That's like, if I'm being honest. So, we didn't expect that to happen to Meredith. Then on top of that, we lose DeLuca. Then they're blindsiding us with all these, these blasts from the past with these characters. Pretty sure they're probably going to be bringing back Mark Sloan. I mean, I wouldn't really be surprised if they do. But you have to think towards, like, the best scenario. The ending doesn't always have to be good. That's like, something I need to make sure that people know. The ending doesn't always have to be happy. Sometimes the devastating things that happen in the show will boost the show on, like, a whole nother level. And as much as I love Meredith, I think for the best, and I think Ellen was trying to hint to it, but she didn't want to just come out and say that her character probably might. She didn't want to, like, make fans lose their minds. But honestly, I know deep down Ellen probably wants to kill off Meredith. Because not only will it be a huge, well, mainly because it'll be a huge blindside, but I mean, it'll be unexpected to fans. Fans will go crazy. And I think Ellen knows that. I'm pretty sure Ellen knows that if they blindside the fans like that, oh man, people gonna go crazy over that. So I know Ellen knows. I know she's thinking about it. And if she does, honestly, I think it will be the best idea if they kill off Meredith. And I know people don't want her to be killed off. I know people want her to live. But you have to think about the scenario and the outcome of how fans will react. People will be blindsided of this. It will be unexpected. So, I mean, if they want to find a way to end season 17, that'll be the way. Because I know fans will be thirsty to know what'll happen in season 18 if that happens to Meredith. But I guess we'll find out. Since the show only has what? I don't know. This season only has 16 episodes. So, I mean, we don't know what to expect. But I guess we'll find out. I I just know that that'll be a good, it wouldn't be good in the situation, but the scenario of how the fans may react to it may be the best. Fans will really not expect that. But thank you guys for listening into this episode. Make sure you subscribe and follow this podcast on both Google Podcasts and Spotify. Thank you guys for listening in. I love you guys so much. Bye bye.